All right. Welcome to Girl, Come Sit With Me, the live recording. So I am here with a very special guest, Ceiffawn. Oh my goodness, y'all. She is a business consultant. She is an entrepreneur. She is gorgeous. She is an entire vibe, y'all. Listen, she walked in the room and we was like, oh yeah, you speaking today. You are speaking today.
Hi. How are you, Tom?
I am doing good.
Good.
It's a beautiful turnout here today.
Yes.
And thank you so much for helping me promote. Like, this has been a vibe.
Of course.
And
of course.
Think about it. So my listeners, actually, I asked them, who should be speaker? Who should I ask to be a speaker for the live recording?
Mm-hmm.
And girl, you suggested twice.
Really?
Yes, by two different people.
Really?
Yes.
Oh my gosh, that makes me happy because I feel like sometimes I don't do enough self-promoting. So it's to hear that
you promote everyone else.
Right. So I'm always behind the scenes and the person that's helping people market or brand or coming up with their strategy. So I kind of forget about myself sometimes.
That makes sense.
To hear that two people were
two different
Ceiffawn.
Listeners in different groups. They didn't even know each other.
Oh, wow.
So
look at that.
See, exactly. And look at you showing up for yourself today.
Exactly.
Because that is what today is all about. Showing up for ourselves.
Yes.
But with what you do and how you promote everyone, you market for everyone, you turn all these people into millionaires. How in the world do you show for yourself? What is your reminder to do that?
So I'm very intentional about setting boundaries for myself.
Oh, girl, yes.
Yeah, I am the boundary queen. So if I'm tired, I take a nap. If I'm overwhelmed, I stop. If I'm not feeling the creative juices or the flow, I redirect. I do something else to kind of get my mind off of things and then come back. And then I'm okay, I feel better. Or
love that.
I give myself, if I'm feeling too many emotions, I'll just be you know what? Let me just do something that's cleaning my brain and then start over again.
So what are things that cleans your brain? Because I know everyone has a different process.
Yes. So it's funny. I like to watch actual cartoons. So I
what kind of cartoon?
Listen, Disney Plus and me go together real bad.
What? Y'all.
Me and Disney Plus go together real bad. Okay. So I'm very into watching nostalgic things.
Oh, yes.
That take me back.
That works for me.
I feel very comfortable. And I'm okay, this is a warm blanket. It could be a movie that I've watched 50 billion times, but I'm going to put it on and I'll just watch it. And I may doze off into a nap, or some days it's that. Other days it's I might want to be creative. So I might want to I do content creating for myself. If I'm going to the gym and I feel sitting on the couch and just putting together a really cute reel for myself. I do that and it's comfortable for me. It feels good. So sometimes it's a battle to not monetize the things that make me feel comfortable or clean my brain out. Cause then I feel that was fun when I was doing it for me. And now it's a job and someone's depending on me and saying, hey, I don't like this or change that, or I need it by this day. And I'm okay, this is not fun anymore.
I know. It takes the joy out of it.
Yeah. Yeah. So some things I keep to myself. Some things I I tell a lot of people I don't really tell a lot of people I do this because I do it to make me my brain decompress.
Yeah.
But I can do it. But if I love you, love you.
Exactly.
Then I'll do it for you.
Then I'll do it for you. But besides that, it may get...
Yeah, it may get too work.
Yes. And one of the important things is we have to make sure that we're not sucking the joy out of things that brings us joy.
Exactly.
Because that's one of the first things that they tell you when people start learning about depression and the symptoms of depression. It's you'll start noticing that things that used to bring you joy no longer brings you joy.
Yeah.
So the fact that you find a way to hone in on that, this is mine, that's a way of you showing up for yourself and creating that boundary.
Yeah, I protect it with everything. I have my home is my sanctuary. I have a beautiful little plant room and I read a
plant room?
I do. I turned my dining room into a plant room. Yeah. It's very
I
cute.
love
It's very cute.
that.
I adopted some plants from some friends that moved away, and I feel very responsible for them now. So
Yes, because they're
I'm
your
like,
pet.
they're my family. So
They are.
yeah. So yeah, that's, I always make sure, when you say like what brings me like that comfort and that peace to like reset, it's my home.
Mhm.
Like my home is so peaceful,
I
and I'm
love
very
that.
intentional about what energy I bring into my house.
Mhm.
And I keep my home a very sacred space. So
Yes.
friends and family, I've had to, even family, be like, yeah, you can stay in the car though, because your energy
Yes.
lately has been real off,
And we're allergic. Straight like that.
very much so.
We are absolutely allergic.
Very much so.
And for me, I have to keep my home as that space. And if I feel as though anything is off, I have to find a way to balance it out
Mhm.
or redirect that energy or correct it however you want to word it.
Mhm.
Just so, because my home is where I like to dream.
Mhm.
My home is where I like to dream.
Mhm.
This idea, this podcast came from a walk with my sister, but think about it. When I got home, I allowed my brain to take it wherever I wanted it to go.
It's beautiful.
Yes.
And look where it landed you.
Yes, went from dreaming to doing. But you're a pro at that. You literally turn people's dreams into forcing them to do it.
Yeah.
That is insane to me.
Yeah, it's God places things on certain people's hearts, and
Mhm.
I really, really downplayed the fact that people were leaning into me, and the fact that I was seeing things in people that they didn't see in themselves.
Yes.
And I was like, no, like, you were talking about this whole time. And they had to literally sit me down and be like, Ceiffawn, but like, you came up with the entire plan on how to
See?
take this from like this little crazy idea. And you not only took it, you believed in it, you
Mhm.
didn't doubt it,
Mhm.
and then you helped me manifest it, and then you took it above what I even thought it could be.
That is
And now I believe
beautiful.
more in myself, because someone who had no reason to invest in me the way that you did,
Mhm.
you did. And then
Yes.
ran with it, and had no, like, it wasn't like you were looking for something in return, or
Mhm.
it was just, I want to see you flourish,
You
because
had honest intentions.
I find joy in
Honest
people's
intentions.
joy. Mm-hmm.
I love
Yep.
that.
So I had to embrace that about myself. Like, no, girl, like, this is where God wants you right now. Like, this is what he wants you to be doing. My mom always says, like, Ceiffawn, because I do a lot of nonprofit work, she's like, you need to get paid for this stuff. And I'm like, but right now the Lord has me in this place, and this is how I'm supposed to be serving. So if my service is to be of service, then I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing.
I really feel like that is a gift, because not everyone can do that. And I love how you mentioned at first you were running from it. What did running from it look like for you?
I was downplaying myself. I was like, no, like, it was not that big of a deal. Like,
Sounds right.
I just, you wanted to launch your show. So I booked the movie theater and decided to invite 50 people. And then and they're like, do you know that what you're saying is like not normal? Like, I was just trying to put it on YouTube, and you said no. And I was just very much downplaying myself. I was like minimizing things. And I think that kind of comes from just not being main character in a lot of ways. That I had to start learning, like, just because you are embracing what you're doing doesn't make you cocky. It doesn't make you overconfident. You're not
That
bragging.
part.
It's
Yes.
you literally can do this, and
Yes.
you are the main character in this. And that's okay if you say, you know what? Yeah, I did do that. Or like,
Exactly.
I showed up for these people in all of these ways, and it was me
That
behind
part.
the scenes, but this is what it looks like.
But this is what it looks like.
Yeah.
I only know one other person that does that, and that's the owner of Co-Space, where we are now for our live recording. Joy does that for so many people. And I love how you reminded us, because that's huge. I love how you reminded us it's not bragging. When we simply state what we have done, when we simply acknowledge our awards, our accomplishments, big and small, that's just me telling you what I've done. Now, if you take it as bragging, that's something that you have to work through.
Out, yeah.
That's healing on your part, not on me. I am just living in my truth and my light. And that's probably why you got that glow. That is probably what it was.
You mean it's not the Fenty? What?
Girl, hey, it could be that too. It could be that too. I'm telling you, there is something on you. And I love it. Like it's something on you that's just a piece of a light. If that makes sense.
It does.
I hope you're receiving it.
I'm pausing because like, you know, when you hear certain things multiple times from different people in different spaces, that's even though I am in the business of manifesting for other people, like for myself, there's still so much like accepting, like people see things in me that I don't see in myself. So it's like, it's kind of a weird paradox to live in where I see more for other people than sometimes I see in myself. But it takes other people saying something like, you're not the first person that has said this to me randomly.
I can't.
And I'm just like, okay, I'm learning to receive, like you said, receiving that compliment and just being like, thank you.
Yeah.
Period.
That's it. Exactly. That's
it. All right, cool. Got it.
Let me tell you an exercise that I started doing. When did I start doing this? I think it was after my first son. So after I heard my first son, my body does this weird thing. I have a baby, I miscarry. I have a baby, I miscarry, right? So one stick, one don't, one stick, one don't. So after the first miscarriage, I was like, what is going on? I'm not receiving compliments the way I would receive the compliments, but I wouldn't receive them. They would not, I couldn't internalize them. So I did this exercise and I started doing it every year. I started writing down things that I like about myself. I started writing down things that I saw within myself, but then I would make a separate list of what things I commonly hear from other people. And for whatever reason, that list was always longer than the list that I made for myself.
Yeah.
Every single time.
Yeah.
It's always longer. But it was nice because it reminded me like, okay, if multiple people are saying this, it has to be something. And it's nice because I'm not looking at it like, you know, when we hear the saying, if multiple people say you got a problem, you got a problem. It's
right.
If multiple people are saying you have a light, then you have a light.
Yeah.
And that's it. And that's beautiful.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah.
Very good. Because you're just showing up for yourself. Even today, even with you going live.
I know. Guys, I'm going live for the first time on my Instagram page. I've never done that before. I had multiple, my sister was like, I want to see it. And my friend's like, I want this. I'm like, I don't know how to do that, but we're going to try today, trying something new for the first time in real time.
Yes.
Oh, my Instagram is the reality of dreams with 2 S's at the end. Yes, that's also the name of my business, The Reality of Dreams. I turn dreams into a reality.
And do, yes. Yeah. Absolutely. And then also you all, at the beginning of our live recording and at the end, so basically at the end of the event, you'll start seeing slides with pictures of our beautiful guests of the evening, and each page will have a barcode where you can follow them on social media, okay? So it'll lead you to either their social media account or their link tree where you can follow everything that they have going on.
Thorough. I like that, yes.
Oh, yes, we get it done, yes. And think about it. With all the businesses and all the people that you help, even with you realizing that this was a gift and that this was a passion of yours, this is something you can do, how do you not what do you do in those moments when you get scared? Or do you ever get scared when you dream bigger than when you have a bigger dream for someone than they have for themselves?
Yeah, yes, because I'm a firm believer, and I'm sure we've all heard this before, and it sounds very cliche, but when people say, like, if your dreams don't scare you, your dreams are not big enough. I oftentimes challenge my clients with dreaming bigger. Like, why do you want to only put it on YouTube? Or like, I ran into a friend of mine that had a whole magazine, and I was like, okay, is this trademarked and copywritten? Like, are you going to do more of these? Like, where are you publishing this at? Like, I start thinking about the more, because a lot of times people are thinking about the now, like, oh, I did this one thing. And I'm like, but let's talk about how we can get your business to a place where it can scale or it can grow or someone can see it and be like, I want to buy your business because it's marketable, it's brandable. And even if the business is you, right? It's like, how can you be a better person? How can you be a better business for your own business, you know? So a lot of times that scares people. But I think for me, the one thing I always instill in everyone, personal life, business life, professional life, micro goals. Just start with what you can accomplish today. And
I like that.
If you can find 3 things in today that you're like, if I get these 3 things done, I will personally feel like I've accomplished something.
Mm-hmm.
It may not have moved the needle all the way, but I can say, hey, I knocked off 3 things on my list. My list might be 50, but today,
this is what I got done.
This is what I got done. So a lot of times, like hearing that kind of like settles people, and they're like, okay,
it releases some of the anxiety.
Yeah, because we always want to like, oh, I want to do all of these things and do all of this and go here, and it's like that can happen. And let's start with what can we do.
Let's start with these attainable goals first.
Correct, because then that's how people feel like defeated. They're like, oh, I didn't get to do all of these things and I'm not going to get to that goal up there because, and it's like, no. You'll get there.
It just may take a little time.
It may take a little time. It may take a little patience. And like, what is the saying? If you want to go far, go alone. If you want to go fast, however the saying is.
Yeah.
That's it. Yeah. If you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, go with others.
Yeah. There we go. Yes. My best friend says that all the time.
Yeah. And that's literally what it is. That's literally what it is. It's like a lot of times people want to just get there. They want it. They want the business. I want the notoriety. I want the this. I want the that. And I'm the mind that's like, okay, yes, you can do that. But think about these things here, because if you don't think about these things, you'll get to where you're going and someone might snatch that thing right from underneath you. Or it might be good for a month or 2 or a year or 2 and something might happen and you weren't prepared for what comes next.
No, I love that. I have a friend of mine's. I remember where she was working her regular job. And she was doing facials, like just going to people's houses with just a kid. Just doing facials with a kid. And she just took her time and kept going. And then I remember it seemed like a couple years later, I remember when she was like, hey y'all, I'm gonna just start renting this space so I can get this done. So she started doing that while also working her job. Then I remember when she got to a point where she was finally able to quit her job. And I remember those milestone moments or her being able to hire someone. And now she has her own line.
That's beautiful.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Oh, she's actually here. Y'all, yes. So shout out to Lala, the skin coach. Okay. Yes. Yes, at Glow Aesthetics. She literally has her own skincare line now. And I just remember seeing those small moments, just like you said. But think about it. With me starting out right now, you have plenty of people who are at the same spot as I am, just starting out. Y'all, I started this podcast last fall. Okay. And now I have a room full of people. So thank you all so much. But think about it. There's plenty of people who are at the same spot that I am, but they see successful people like y'all, successful people like Joy and Ashley, all these different people. And they're like, dang, I'm not there yet. Will it ever happen for me? And it's like, no, you have to trust the process. You didn't see their process of them taking the steps. Or probably for you getting your first client. Or understanding like, hey, maybe my friends are my clients.
Come on with the word.
That part. Maybe my friends are my clients. Yeah. Okay, maybe I do have something here. Yeah. Maybe I can add this service to what I offer.
Yeah.
Like, that's beautiful.
Yeah. I think it was really the pushing of friends, right?
See?
That they were like, I just asked for a favor, Ceiffawn, and you did like all of this.
See?
Why are you not always doing this? And I was like, and again, like my story is very cookie cutter, you go to school, get a job, you retire, the whole nine. My parents had a very specific, they're boomers. So, you go to school, do the thing,
Yeah.
And here I come, this little creative girly, like, I'm going to do this and this and this. And, trying to balance the living up to what your family and parents think that you should be, while also pursuing the things that your heart wants. So I'm, I work in corporate America. I have a whole 9-to-5 job, and I still find space and time to let my business breathe because my business brings me joy. So like when you find something that does not feel like you're taking your work and trying to monetize it for yourself, but it's something that you truly find joy in doing, it doesn't feel like work. So for me, people, how do you balance your business and your job? And my business doesn't feel like a job.
It's fun.
It's fun. And like you said, a lot of my friends are clients of mine, and I truly want to see the joy on their faces when I walk in and I'm like, yay, it all worked out. It looks so good. And you're happy. That's where I'm like, my heart just explodes, and I feel happy. And that's what makes me want to keep building. And I don't want to see my friends fail. So I recognize that I have a lot of skill sets because of corporate America, because of being in the legal world. I'm able to say like, hey, while you're over there creating all this beautiful stuff, let me go ahead and write you up some contracts, and let me go ahead and help you trademark this, and let me help you go ahead and do all these little intricacies about business that people skip over because they're like, girl, I make the best sweet potato pie and I'm just going to start selling it. And it's like, hold on, liabilities. Can we talk about that? You know what I mean? So like they don't think about those things. And when you never think you want to need it, but when you do need it, they're like, girl, thank you so much for telling me about this. Or like, esthetician, I had a client and she was like, I want to bring on more clients. She was growing. She's like, I want to get a contract though, so that I'm protected, they're protected. Can you help me? And I'm like, yeah, let's talk about what this looks like for you, because you're being smart about your business.
That's true.
So, my business doesn't feel like work. I'm watching other people's dreams literally manifest. That's not work. That's joy. That's
joy.
Yeah.
It's a passion.
Oh yeah, for sure.
And you can see it on you. So you mentioned something earlier where you were saying how what did you say? I can't remember the exact words, but basically it all added up to your friends being there. And it reminded me of the importance of our circles.
Oh my God.
And the people that we have around us, whether they're mentors or whether they're just regular friends. It really reminded me of that. How did you know, or how do you know when your support system is for you?
Ooh, so I would say that I am in a season of receiving and learning how to receive.
As you should.
It is a very incredible thing to have a circle of people that pour into you for absolutely no other reason than to see you flourish.
Yeah.
And when you have so many of those type of people around you, it is way easier to identify who is not. They stick out like a sore thumb.
They stick out. Oh, hey. They stick out real one. They really do.
When you have a circle of people around you that are constantly pouring into you, the people who are not are sticking out like a sore thumb, and get rid of them fast.
Expeditiously. Thank you. We can just scurry them away.
But yeah, my support system, like I always tell my friends, I don't do enough for them. Like they deserve so much more, because sometimes I'd be calling and venting and this about this and and they're just there. They're like, do you need me to listen to you today? And I'm like, actually, I need your feedback, because you're the friend I call when I need to hear some things that I don't want to hear. So give me that feedback. Where it's like, yes, your friends. Thank God. I thank you, Lord, for my friends. They are angels that are just here on earth, and Some days I'm like, I don't deserve friends this well. I don't deserve friends this good, but thank you, God, for putting them in my life.
Exactly. And keep reminding yourself, look in the mirror, always tell yourself, you know what? I deserve them because they're so amazing, and they deserve me because I'm also amazing in my own right.
Exactly. Yeah.
I love that. Oh, well, thank you so much, Ceiffawn, for joining me.
Yes.
Thank you. Yes, I thoroughly enjoyed this. Yay. This was amazing. And for those of you who are listening, we just did a live recording of Girl, Come Sit With Me. Yo! So you can follow Ceiffawn at
The Reality of Dreams with 2 S's on Instagram.
Thank you so much for tuning in. Have a beautiful day. Bye. And y'all here, stay tuned.
Yes.
Stay tuned.